I'm just thinking about how to do this. Hi, hello. I was thinking that I want to do a video where I go through everything that's in my stash of fabric and supplies. Because I have quite a bit of stuff. I have accumulated a fair amount of matter, and it plagues our tiny apartment. And yeah, my other half is really patient with me about it. I can't say that I would be the same if I was in the opposite position, right? So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about just pulling it out, and it's not huge. It's not a huge stash. It's just not small either. I always said I was not going to accumulate tons and tons of fabric, but here I am. It's too easy to look at something and go, oh, this would be such a great fill in the blank. But the reality is there's not a lot of time to do all these projects. Not all of them, right? They do take time. I mean, if I look at that, I would guess that I probably have a good solid 6 months worth of material and like projects to come out of that. So yeah, we're going to look through it a little bit, and maybe it'll help spur some ideas for up and coming projects as well. That's what I'm hoping. So let me just. I mean, it's only confined to a basket. Oops. One single basket. Okay, that's not entirely true, actually. Hang on. One single basket and like one Tupperware thing. And this bag. And maybe a couple other bags. So we might have a little bit of a problem on our hands. And it might be time to go through everything and figure out what we're going to do with all of this. I've cut myself off. I'm not buying any more fabric for a while. All right, let's start with the basket. Let's see what we've got. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Why am I like this? Okay, let's see. Let's start at the top. We'll just go through, I mean, what's in the basket are like complete coupons of fabric, like complete pieces, right? So they range from about maybe 1.5 meters to about 4 meters. I think there's one in there that's 4 meters. I'm going to do my best to try and remember the composition of everything. But yeah, let's start with this. This is a nice one. This is great. This is a cotton velour, 100% cotton velour that I got out of a bargain bin. I love the color. I absolutely love it. It's like this purpley blue midnight. It's super, super beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. And actually, I have made out of this, I made this this quilted, like a quilted tote bag that I adore. And I have enough here to make I'm going to make another 1 or 2 of these. The plan is to make one for, remake this for a friend of mine. And so I'm probably going to go through that project, like showcase that project. But this is definitely enough to do, I imagine. I think I can get another tote bag out of it for sure. And this is a pretty substantial sized bag. And then I was thinking something like this, like the little trousse de toilette, like a cosmetics bag, or like, could even do like a laptop case. Just an idea. Probably in the same style, like quilted with like a thick stabilizer behind it. So there's that. That's our first, it's technically not a complete like 1.5 meters. It's what's left, I think, of 1.5 meters. So there's our, sorry, Virgo problems. I'm like pretty messy otherwise, but well. Okay, so that's the first thing we have. Next, I'm going to do these together, I have a little bit of an obsession with silk. Yeah, there we go. Let's be honest. I started sewing silk maybe, I think last summer, if I'm not mistaken. And I was really nervous to start working with it at first because one, it's more expensive than like these bargain bin fabrics. And two, it's not really the most forgiving fabric, so it's more delicate, a little trickier to work with, and you don't really want to be poking holes through it and then like ripping up stitches, you know? So I have a couple pieces that I've worked on. These ones, I know this is a full 3 meters. It's got this really gorgeous kind of like sunflower motif, so I think it's a printed silk. I have this one, which is sort of, it's this gorgeous, I gotta find another adjective. It's a beautiful iridescent kind of gray blue, like a really nice sort of very delicate, transparent, semi-transparent silk. And then this is just a really, really fine soft black. I thought it'd make a nice like shift dress or even just like a t-shirt, like something really lightweight but kind of slinky. So I've got those. Any other silk in here? No, I think that's all I have for silk is just those 3. But I've been telling myself like I said, no accumulating other silks until I do something with these, and I have done nothing with them. Kind of keeping them maybe for, I don't know. I was thinking like for a lining, like this one. I thought for a lining, I'm working on this. It's a wool mohair blend, like caban, I think is what they call it. This sort of like style jacket with the sash. And I thought this would make a really nice, like gorgeous lining. But now the more I look at it and the more I think about it, I'm like, shouldn't this be its own piece? Like, wouldn't this make a nicer blouse or like a dress or something? Maybe. This I was thinking, like, you know when you have like those little like a slip dress and then over top there's like another like collared button down dress on top, but this one would be like see-through, so I could have a black slip dress and then this beautiful kind of blue-gray outer shell. So I was kind of leaning towards that, and then of course the black one's really delicate, so that's probably the shift dress. So I'm kind of thinking summertime, not formal, but elevated summer pieces. Okay, next we've got this. I love this. I love you. It's 100% wool. It's really beautiful. Really nice texture. It's this really, I love this woven piece. And my thoughts were to recreate this coat that I made. So when I first, I guess the first winter that I had been sewing, right? Like I started in the summer. By that winter, I was like, oh, I want to make some coats. I want to try and get a handle on like a nice overcoat. And I found this pattern. It's a Burda pattern. I made it. It's sort of like a cocoon style, you know. It turned out pretty well. However, the fabric that I bought at the time was this blend, this, I don't know, wool and some poly blend or something. And it didn't wear so well. So like the coat, the fit, everything was fantastic. But after a season, it doesn't look so great. It has a few little character flaws. It's not perfect. It's got a few, it sits a bit funny sometimes. So it was a really good first, I think it was the second coat I ever made. I thought it would be so nice to remake that in this 100% wool with like a really, with a silk, I'm getting excited to make it with like a silk lining, you know, like just like the perfect black, kind of like a mid-weight overcoat, something that would be good for Paris, but maybe not so good for Canada. That's okay. I have a warm jacket for Canada. So that's a good 3 meters of this, I think, which should do me for the overcoat. Okay, next. This is so cool. This is a cotton poly blend. I'm like pretty sure. Yeah, cotton polyester still has the tag. It's this really nice sort of, lighting's not great today. It's similar to this actually, a little more blue. Kind of this slinky, it's got a really cool weight to it. And I feel like this would make a really nice bomber jacket. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Same thing, bomber lined with something light, like I don't know, a fine cotton or a silk or a cotton silk or cotton viscose or silk viscose, something like this. Just sort of something I can wear in the summer. Same thing, over a shift dress or like a slip dress, to have this like nice little slinky kind of, it's got a nice sheen to it, and it feels really cool. Like it's got a really nice slinky kind of weight to it that I really like. So there's 3 meters of this, which is more than enough to do a little jacket. And I made one with a few little hiccups, a few little flaws, but I want to reconstruct something like it in this. Whoa, okay. Next, I don't know what possessed me, but the spirit of something did. And so I think this is 4 meters, I'm pretty sure. It's, I love the colors. I'm not so sure. I don't know. I think it's got does it have stretch? It's got a little bit of stretch. Yeah, it's a little, well, on the bias. It's a little bit of like a stretch cotton. Yeah, actually it does. It's pretty nice. And it's sort of this 70s-esque, paisley-esque. I don't know why I just picture like a flowy, like some kind of a summer dress with like a gigantic sun hat is all I can see when I look at this. Part of me was thinking like a jumpsuit too. That would be hilarious, but yeah, maybe a little bit loud. I feel like it's one of those things I would make and I would be very excited about it, but I'm not sure if I would actually wear it because I would be a little bit insecure about being covered in head to toe print. But I love it. I do love it. It's like, it speaks to some strange part of me. Also, it's like the background of it is this really nice kind of subdued purple. So I feel like even though it's got kind of a wild print, part of it's still a little bit muted. You know, it's not like fluorescent. So the shade's really nice. Oh God. Okay, next is this. This is, I was in love with this when I got it. It's just 3 meters of this viscose with a really nice texture. Really, it feels like it moves like, it's got a silky kind of bouncy, slinky quality to it. I feel like this would be kind of a pain in the butt to sew, but worth it. And I'm thinking long, flowy dress. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Yeah, I feel like this would be really nice with like flounces. Either like a spaghetti, like thin strap flounce across the chest, like kind of wrap dress thing, or just something with like shoulder flounces and yeah. But I'm leaning towards long. I want a long dress out of this. And that's kind of what I've been feeling for however long I've had this, 2 years, a year and a half? God, I don't know. What else is in here? Jesus Christ. Okay, let's pull out these 3. Okay, I love this. This is another 3 meters of viscose, 100% viscose. It's got this like leopard print. Again, I love the color. It's a really beautiful kind of navy. It's like a light navy blue. And then it's got, you know, I don't know what you actually call it with, yeah, I'm not sure how it's called with fabric, but you know in printing, when they have like spot UV, so you take a business card with like something has spot UV on it and it's like, it just shines when it catches the light. This does the same thing. Like the leopard pattern, the way the weave is, it contrasts really nicely to the rest of the fabric, so it catches the light in a really nice way. again, long dress is what I'm feeling. Yeah. This was, what is this? Stretch viscose? I want to say it's viscose as well, but I can't remember. It's nice. It's got a lot of stretch to it. I was feeling like an A-line skirt, and then I thought, you know, the more I looked at it, every time I get like 3 meters of fabric, I always think skirt, separates, whatever. And then the more I sit with it, I'm like, dress, long dress. Every time. I don't know why. So yeah, leaning towards, actually maybe that could work. Like A-line skirt and then like a little top to go with it. Like really small little tank top thing. So some kind of separates. This one, this is a shirting fabric. This is 100% cotton. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So yeah, this is a shirting cotton. So yeah, I don't know, tank top, something like that. Really nice red, gray, blue. Okay, and that's 1.5 meters, I believe. This was on sale. This was like one of those bargain bin at Marché Saint-Pierre. Like, yeah, I was like, looked at it and thought, just buy it. It was like €7 or something. Same goes for these. Now these are woolen blends. I'm gonna pull up the other one here. So these are, there's 4, pardon me. These are all of them bargain bin babies, and they are all wool, like a wool synthetic blend. Each of them I do believe is 1.5 meters. So that's enough to do like a mini skirt. We love a good wool mini skirt, maybe a pair of shorts, a little bit more for winter, which is past. This one, again, it's one of those, what possessed Christina, I do not know. This one's got sparkles in it. It's got kind of this gradient, gray, beigey, yeah, kind of quite grayish. It's quite grayish. Kind of reminds me of the weather with a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, that's about it. I'm not even sure what to do with this. I was wondering if maybe it wasn't like an upholstery fabric, because it's a little bit stiff, this one. So I was thinking like some kind of not a coat, either like a really, I don't know, depends on what I can get out of it, like a really short coat, or like a sleeveless wrap kind of thing with a lapel, I don't know. Something like that. That's what kind of floats through my mind. The other 3, definitely these 2. One is more blue. The other one is black and white, checkered. Definitely mini skirt, short material. And this one's cool. The weave is super cool. It sort of has these big striped pieces. Black, brown, gray, beige, really neutral. I was actually just thinking about hemming the edges and just making like a wrap or like as a blanket, because it's, you know, it would be nice. It would be nice just kind of to, you know, say in the winter when it's chilly in the apartment, you just wrap it around you, kind of like a stole or I don't know what you call it. But yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Could also be, yeah, could be pillows. Anything could be a pillow. No, I'm feeling like it's something I want to like wrap around my shoulders. It's not super soft, but it's nice. It is nice. I'm just curious. I'm curious how it would wear, but I feel like it would be, really warm. And sometimes, you know how you're like not supposed to go food shopping when you're hungry? They're like, don't do that when you're hungry. It's really a bad idea to go fabric shopping when you're cold in the winter too, because I had to stop myself because I just would pick up these like wool cuts and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with this? I mean, they're beautiful. I love them. But yeah, I cut myself off at about, a few of them. 3, 4, 5 of them. Ooh, we're getting to the end of this basket. So we've got, this one was cool. Also bargain bin find. I do believe, I I want to say cotton viscose, but I don't really remember. I feel like it was cotton or cotton viscose, which is why I bought it. The pattern's really funky, the color's really funky. Initially, I was thinking lining, like a lining for a blazer or like some kind of a coat. I bought 2.5 meter cuts of it, and now I'm thinking dress, right? Or separate 2-piece thing. That's it. And then the last piece in here, I mean, those are scraps. This was also just a random find. It's this really nice dusty rose. I don't know if it's, I'm guessing there's poly in here just looking at it and feeling it. It's just a cute little stretch, stretch velour. I thought it would make like a nice little crop top kind of thing, or something along that trajectory. There you go. So that's what's in the big basket. Now we also have that bag, and that's more scrap stuff. Like that's leftover fabrics from other projects. It's a real mix. And actually, I have an idea for it. I found another project that makes baskets out of these fabric scraps. And actually we have a pillow like this right behind me. It's woven pieces, and when you look at it, when you inspect it closer, you'll see that they're actually scraps of fabric from, I don't know, like clothing, like, so it's recycled pieces mixed with jute, and then it's like screen printed a little bit. It's kind of cool. It's really neat. So I was thinking I could do that with the scrap fabric. I could basically just cut big long strips. If I wanted it to be nice and clean, I could like serge and tuck the edges to keep all like the loose threads and everything contained. Otherwise, just let it be, and we'll have something a little bit rougher and maybe a little bit more organic looking. So yeah, and the cool thing too is that these fabrics, I have definitely have a palette that's kind of like gray and like rosy pinks and like certain kinds of purples and blues, and like I really stick to the same colors for myself. So I can pull out a couple of fabrics from the scraps that kind of are within the same palette, so that if I make a basket, it would have variation, but it would all kind of match up, you know? So I think that might actually be really, really interesting to try out. So that's on in the back of my list of things to do. But I think that's good. I think that's a good showcase of what we've got here in basket number 1. Yeah, maybe we can have a look at supplies, because there's more. There is definitely more. There's also a little bit of there's some equipment that I wouldn't mind showcasing here, so you know exactly what we're working with. But other pieces in the drawers, let's have a look at the drawers, and I'll show you some of the materials that I have stockpiled that actually I want to do something with. So I'm kind of ruminating about what I can do with them. I have some loose ideas, but sometimes pulling it out into the light of day helps kind of, you know, get the ideas going. So let's have a look at that, shall we?